Welcome to another episode of Rusted Up Garage. First and foremost, I want to thank all the new subscribers. I mean, we just went from not many subscribers to a bunch of subscribers. I mean, I want to thank you guys for liking and sharing, and we're just trying to do something here, for a little entertainment, and we just love building cars. So I want to thank you guys. Keep sharing, likes, comments. I'm trying to comment back. I haven't really had to do that before. It's been kind of different, but I'm trying to comment back. So I want to say thank you. I also want to do a little plug, rustedupgarage.com. We have a shirt. A shirt. We're working on Wagon shirts currently. So these are the 55 shirts, which obviously the 55 ain't done, but we're working on getting some Wagon shirts made up and a few other shirts. So just hang tight. And if you hear a little bit of fan going, okay, I'm just going to tell you, if you live in the South right now, it is hot. I mean, I'm thinking our next episode, I'm going to teach you guys how to cook a lasagna in your mailbox. It is that freaking hot. It is just, whew. So, anyways, my little fan, I apologize, but I got it. I'm fat. I need some air, okay? Just saying. Got the microphone on, hope it helps. But this one's probably going to be a little shorter than the others. It's been really crazy busy for us since we got back from Hot Rod Power Tour. I've had to catch up my regular work and stuff. But we plan on going to a car show this Saturday, local, just down the road from us. But a problem we had while we were on, the tour was, we had some rubbing going on when all the fam was in the back. Someone decided to buy these extra wide rims that really, lay the tires out. Well, thinking about the lip in here, when you hit the bump, it goes, and you smell smoke as it's peeling your tire away. Now, the good news is it just barely got this tire, just a little bit. It's fine. It's holding air. It's fine. Okay, it's fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to help it out because these springs do have 136,000 miles on them, plus sitting from 1988, plus I don't even know. I know that there's not, you put some people in here and it's like, we're driving. So I did a little bleep booping on the old Summit site because that's basically where I shop. And they have these old girls right here. Now are these for an Oldsmobile? Nope. Same old story, same old song and dance. These babies right here are for a Caprice Classic Wagon, which is the same car. It says it don't fit this car, but it fits a Chevy Caprice Wagon. So I took the old roll of the dice, figured they'd probably work. But these are what they call load something springs. Or basically they're the regular spring until they get up here when they just have some extra strength in them. So when you start putting her down with a bunch of people, it gets into this part and it just kind of really holds her up. Now I'm thinking out of the gate, it's probably going to really raise her up pretty high until they, settle in a little bit. What we're going to do today is we're going to go ahead and, pop these babies in the back and kind of see what it does. And then part 2 of this video, y'all remember the sniper, it's zip tied to the firewall. We're going to remove on that. We've been in contact with Holly, we're going to have to send it back. So we're going to jump a few pins over on the screen, and so we can have temperature. I'll lose the oxygen sensor, which ain't a real big deal. And as long as I have temperature, and then I got to jump some relays over for the fans. They won't be automatic, they'll be manual with the old click, and they'll come on. So we're gonna jump that wiring over. So just a couple small things today, but let's change some springs in the old girl and let's see how she comes into her. But first, what I want to do, and I left it up here on the roof, Zach, I mean, you're not even helping me here. What it is, I went ahead and I put some tape right here. And I'm going to measure off the floor because the lift is on the floor, and I'm just going to go with it. And I'm just going to come up here and I'm going to make a little mark on this sucker. And I'm even gonna give it to vend, like a red tire and vend it, I guess. Well, I don't know, I shouldn't vend it, huh? I'm just gonna eyeball it, because it don't really matter. Sorry, talking with a pen cap is probably not a good idea. So that's 38 inches right there. Well, if it goes to 58 inches, we're gonna be really behind this one. So on this side, we're just gonna do the same thing. We're just gonna put a mark right about right here, and we're gonna call that one 38 inches. Now we're gonna bring car up and drop springs out of it. So first thing we gotta do, we gotta take the shocks off so the rear end will fall far enough down. Or not. There we go. Basically like that. That's how you do it. I'll tell you what, the new bushings worked out well we put in here. That was nice, actually. Whew, oof. Okay, Zach, let's do a little comparison over here. So, I mean, it's obvious out of the gate that, you know, this one is about 15 inches. This one's just over 16 inches tall, which, I mean, is to be expected. These are settled. But as you can see, the eyelets, I mean, they're identical. So as I suspected, you can put Capri springs in an Oldsmobile Summit. Now these were for the Oldsmobile, which, you know, pretty much looks like the ones for the Caprice. Except for these are a little better. Now, in the instructions it says, put the tight coilies at the top. So, we're gonna go ahead and do that.
You know why they said that these probably don't work on the Oldsmobile?
What?
Because the Oldsmobile had the auto ride.
Oh, it had the auto ride. Okay, so now we're gonna have to stuff these things in there. Zach may have to help me with this.
Right?
Yeah. Okay, that one's in. Hand me that spring. I don't know if that camera's even seeing me. Yep.
Oh, you got it?
Oh, no, I'm almost there. I just gotta flip it in.
Hang on.
If you just pull one more time, it'll be good.
No, I'm hanging.
In. Zach hung on the tires so we could pull them down, but see, they plopped right in there, as expected. I'm gonna write Summit a little message. Tell them quit not including Oldsmobile. Oldsmobile has feelings too. They sure do go on a lot easier than I pulled them off. That's just crazy. Crazy, I tell you. I mean, we've got all the springs back here. We've actually done a lot more work back here than I ever planned on. I mean, besides rejuvenating on it like we did, I mean, I actually had to put some parts back here. It's horrible. Okay. So, new springs. Engaged. Now, what I think we need to do now, Zach, is we gotta give them the old trailer hitch at chest. You know what I'm saying? That's where we, you know, come on with the trailer and, you know. Seems legit to me.
Does it feel tighter?
Yep.
Before you could do that and they would just fall right down to the tire.
So now while we're right here, probably take a minute, turn the light this way. Was that big dent always there? Probably. We definitely have some oil leaking right here. Which is still from the valve covers. Pretty much, you know, up here. I'll grab a rag and just wipe that down a little bit.
You know what they say though, right? If it's leaking oil, it's got oil.
That's right. I mean, it's not bad. I know where it's coming from. It's the valve covers. It needs a different vent system. I mean, the good news is it's really just lubricating everything back here for us, so don't rust. Now with the new springs installed, and I'll leave a little note to what they were in the old bottom section. What did we raise it up to? Well, 3/4 of an inch, 38 3/4 of an inch. But what's really good is with that progressive spring that we installed, that once it comes down just a little bit more, it gets way stiffer. So before, it would just literally bottom out this car constantly. So this should fix it. We will know this weekend. Yeah, about 3/4, a little over 3/4 of an inch it picked it up. So, which is good. It didn't really mess up the rake any. So there, the new load springs installed, we're ready for the weekend. Step 2 that we got to get knocked out. And Zach probably have to set up a tripod because, you know, you don't need to be holding it. But now we gotta cut the sniper loose, pull the wiring loose, and then wire in this temperature sensor and wiring the fans. And we're gonna delete on all the rest of this for right now. I'm at a sweat level of about 100. Okay, so in here, as you can see, what I've done is I've pretty much just cleaned up the wiring. I got rid of the other set of relays. Obviously I got rid of the sniper. I pulled the sniper wiring out, and then I just used the positive that was going to the sniper and actually fed the choke off from it. So that's all cleaned up. We ran new tack wire, you can kind of see that yellow wire back there, and we ran a new temperature wires to here, which are going back inside. And then I just kind of cleaned up everything else that was on the firewall, the pumps, the extra filters, all that stuff. I just kind of pulled all that out because I don't think we're gonna go back to a sniper. I think we're gonna go to a Terminator. So Terminator is gonna be completely different. The whole plumbing is gonna be different on a Terminator. So, but all this is cleaned up, and let's go over here for a minute. So here is the sniper that we think there's something wrong with it. So again, it is older, and I don't know. We're gonna get it sent off to Holly, have them look at it. It might just be something dumb. I don't know. I don't know, but they will. They'll know. Now, if we come inside, So what we're doing in here is we pulled the switches down so we could rewire in that, and Zach pulled all the wiring out, and we're turning the gauge cluster here into a standalone. And she's like really bright, ain't she? Forgot how to do this. Zach told me how to do this. There we go. It's a little better. But so a little bit of wiring change. He had to run temperature wires into here, and he had to run the tack wire into here, and see here, oil pressure is into here now. Everything. So kind of it's a standalone unit is what it's basically becoming for now, is a standalone, and we can change all that later depending on what we use. But we couldn't do this when we were on the tour because it required me jumping over all the fans. The fans are actually just going to run on a toggle switch for now. I'll just turn them on when we take off and shut them off when we get there. For now, it'll be easier. But that's where we're at right now. And I'll come back to you when we have a little bit more. Okay, Zach, so let's tell them what we learned about running a standalone 7-inch poly screen when you're trying to hook up the tack.
So, on the instructions, it says that IO 3 and 4 are for tack. We learned is that those are if you're coming off from a CD box, like an MSD 6AL or other brand, you know, same thing. If you're running an HEI distributor or a points system, you hook it to the coil negative, which is pin 26 in this harness here.
Okay. So what we're having problems with is the tack wire was unhooked, but when it was laid across the spark plug wires, it was reading tack signal, so you moved it away. And when you plug the tack wire in, it would disable the car. It wouldn't run. So that's when we did some investigating and realized that the tack input is actually for the CD boxes.
Yes.
Not for tack out. So you have to go to negative tack to make that work. So as soon as we made that change and hooked it all up, life is good. So now that everything's been repinned into this harness, which we just left everything along, we just coiled it up since there ain't nothing back there in the dash anyways. Now all of this will run all of our gauges that we currently had minus the oxygen sensor. And the sniper's now been removed with the fuel pump and all that. So the only big difference is we have to flip on the switches for the fans currently, because we don't have any other fan control, because we didn't want to go to sensors or temperature sensors to run them. We just want them on. So so that's what it took. That's why we had to leave the sniper in for all of Power Tour, was due to the fact that it was going to take us a couple hours to get up in the dash and repin everything and then redo all the wiring underneath the hood, which is now done. So after this is done, we can put the gauges, the switches back in, right? And then pretty much sniper removal is done, and the wiring's all done. So I think we're good. We'll have to wash her up. She's ready for the car show this weekend. Cool. Well, we'll be back with you guys just a little bit after we kind of button this up. We just kind of zip tie them up in the hole and then just screw the cover back on. Okay, what we're finding is we can't seem to get the idle screws out much more than about 3/4 to 1 turn on this carburetor. And it just seems to be running flat on itself. It's really weird. So we've done some investigating on what we have for jettings. It seems like this carburetor came with 70s and 74s, which is what it says it comes with. So they haven't been changed, but it just acts really, really rich constantly. So we took apart all our other carburetors too. I guess what we're going to try to do now is we're going to lower the jet sides. The idle jet sides. Now we checked the power valve, and the power valve seems right. I mean, seems to be good. So we're going to take the 70s out of the front, and we're going to drop them down to 65s. Maybe too much. According to Holly, these need to be out 1.5 turns. So that's a half. That's 1.5. One and a half. One and a half. One and a half. Okay. Really like these setups. That's what was on it. Should keep running over. And fittings. Okay. Well, Zach, let's throw her on there. See what this does. Okay, so we finished up the wiring to make it all standalone. And remember, Zach told you about the pinning from Holly. Now, another problem that we're finding that we have is in standalone on the 7-inch dashes, the tack kind of has its own like I don't even know. It's like its own mind. It's like I don't want to be attack. I want to be anything but attack. I want to be, you know, a rocket ship or something. So when you start it, it kind of shows you the RPMs. It's kind of right. Like if you rev it, it's just like all over the place. It's like we're doing 1,000 million RPMs to 800 RPMs to 600 RPMs, back to 4,000 RPMs, back to 9,000 it's all over. So we thought it was the wire, because it's a really thin stranded wire they give you for that. So we changed out the wire to like a insulated wire and run aground with it and wrapped it and kept it away from all the electronics, and it didn't change nothing. So what we're finding by doing some research on the old bleepy booper is that the 7-inch dashes have that problem in standalone mode. And now there's some rectifications if you're running an AL box, but they seem to be like hit or miss whether it fixes them or not. We haven't found anything to fix it if you're running it off an HEI. So I don't know. Now the Pro dashes supposedly don't have that problem, but I can tell you that the 7-inch dashes have an issue running them that way. I'm just not sure. Now this one's not going to stay in standalone mode very long, and it's not going to stay on a carburetor very long, but just something for you guys to think about. If you're going to run a 7-inch dash with just an HEI in standalone mode, know that the TAC kind of does its own thing, and we're not quite sure why. So we're going to do some more research. If we find anything out, we'll let you know. But we did take the car yesterday to a car show, and it was a lot of fun. It was just a small hometown car show. We got to throw the whole family in the back. I will say that the springs helped tremendously, but it's still not enough. This thing is just a heavy girl in the back. She's just, I don't know. So with the whole family piled in it, we didn't rub no tires. That's a plus. But it's still like sagging. You know, it's just like that. So I don't know. I don't want to put coilovers on it yet, because I don't know what we're going to do in the rear yet. I mean, we're still talking now motors and what we're going to build, and you know, whether we're going to put a in here or not. And so I don't know what we're going to do back there. So what I'm going to do is we're probably going to build some plates. I got some 1/4-inch steel and some round pipe, and I'm probably going to like make like a 2-inch spacer and put it up under the spring. So between the rear end and the spring, we'll just weld it to the rear end, I guess, for now. So we'll probably do that in the next week or so, maybe, or 2 weeks or something. But we do got to get it out, because when the whole family's in the back, it's just a little, you know, too much. But other than that, new springs, definitely way better than the old ones. It's a lot stabler. It's less cloud-like. And other than that, we had no problems. It's just the TAC is wonky as crap. But I think that's about it for what we're going to discuss. I don't even know where we're going with this. We're going to cut this little chat off. But again, I wanted to keep this video just a little short video for you guys. So again, she swapped over now fully to carburetor. Sniper will be sent out this week, and we'll be moving forward on a couple other projects we have. I think my wife's Honda might be coming in here next for next week, possibly. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. I don't know. There's just we have a lot going right now, and then we have other stuff that we got to do. I don't even know what. Just a lot of stuff. But we'll get you some more content out. I don't know if it's going to be wagon content for a couple weeks, because again, we have some other stuff. But we'll be getting you guys some stuff out, so keep liking, subscribing. You know, tell me down bottom, you know, what do you guys want me to do? We've been hunting down some, you know, some other vehicles and some other projects, and you know, we're thinking about maybe building something, just something crazy, just, you know, welding stuff to stuff, because you guys seem to like that when I just weld stuff to stuff. So I think we're going to do that. But again, keep subscribing, keep liking. We're working on getting wagon shirts here. Maybe in the next couple, 2 or 3 weeks, we might be able to pull off something like that. And again, we have 55 shirts at rustedupgarage.com. So go check it out. And we're going to do some other shirts, I think, and some hats and some keychains maybe. I don't know. We're working on merchandise. That's what I'm trying to say. We're working on it. And hopefully, you know, sometime in July we'll have merchandise. But till then, keep subscribing, keep liking. Peace out.